7 decades of country music. Over 70 artists, all in one room sharing their songs, their stories, and their lives with you. This is Country's Family Reunion Nashville. Let's listen in on Volume 4.
Well, another day and another gathering of the family reunion. I guess everybody's glad to be here. We're glad everybody's here. A lot of songwriters, a lot of singers, musicians in the room, and a comedian, our friend from down in Atlanta, Brother James Gregory back up there. We were talking just a while ago about the difference between writing country songs and writing comedy. Is it really something all that different?
Well, I tell you, before I get into that, one time George Goebel was on stage with Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, and Bob Hope, and he said, "Did you ever feel like the whole world was a tuxedo and you wore a pair of brown shoes?" That's kind of how I feel here with this group, you know, because Jim Ed Brown and I were talking during the break. I said, to be a comedian, it's not as artful. You got to have the talent that you guys have. I mean, you got to write it, you got to perform it, and all we do is just watch the world go by and see the funny side. And Jim Ed said that he kind of looked at the world and saw the serious side. I said, if I did that, I'd be out of work. But you start with observing people. Like, we've all got one relative or one person in our family that is so crazy, you know. My uncle is 79 years old, 79, and just now got cable. Found the cosigner, got cable. got all those movie channels, you know, about 100 movie channels. You got sometimes before a movie begins, it'll say, this movie has been formatted to fit your screen. And he said, "Now, how do they know what size TV I got?" You know? He's the kind of guy that talks back to the TV. Talks back to the TV. Remember back, they had a show one time called The Night Rider. Remember the talking automobile? Every week, same commercial spot, when they go to a commercial, he would go, "I bet you $1 to a donut that's somebody else doing that voice." And I would go, "Are you sure about that?" He said, "Yeah, I don't think cars can talk." And his children are my cousins, of course. And they're as crazy as he is. My cousin, he'll file a job application where it says nearest relative, he'll put 12 miles. In case of emergency call, he'll write in like 911, you know. And so he doesn't know why nobody calls him back on the job application. You know, but, he watches the news. Like most people watch the news and they see the news, well, that's bad news. Of course, in Georgia where I live, in Tennessee where we're taping this, weather-wise, this is tornado country. You know, and every time there's a tornado come through, I swear to you, it's my job to see the funny side. It's like, can't they find somebody to interview from these mobile homes, just once, that's been to the dentist? I believe the network is trying to make us tornado people look ignorant on TV. I mean, truly. And I was in Nashville, remember some years ago, right here in this city, when the tornado went downtown. Tornadoes just don't go downtown. And to make sure that never happens in Nashville again, here's what you all need to do. On the outskirts of the city, put up like a decoy trailer park. That'd be like cheese in a trap, you know. But I've also said this, though, whether it be tornadoes or hurricanes, or how devastating it is. You know, there's a biblical expression, you've heard your mother use it. God never puts more on any of us than he thinks we can handle. That's why God sends that kind of weather to us. He would never send this stuff to California. I'm telling you, they just couldn't handle it. He sends them what he thinks they can deal with, which is usually a mudslide. It's mud. Where else in America would mud be a natural disaster? I mean, where I'm from, we put big wheels on something and get out and play it. You know? And then they like, here come the mud. But it's just, it's a joy for me to be here. Little Jimmy Dickens and I were talking earlier today, and I was telling him my definition. My dad came up with it of what he called paralyzing country music. When I was 12 or 13 years old, it was around 1960, 61. I think that's when they started to syndicate the Porter Wagoner Show and the Wilburn Brothers, Bill Anderson. Well, as long as you were listening to country music on the radio, you could do other stuff. My mom loved country music. Her world was stopped if a particular song came on. So if country music is on the radio, you can keep doing what you're doing and enjoy the music. Mopping the floor, folding laundry, cooking supper. But for that 1 hour on Saturday afternoon, when the Wilburn Brothers was back-to-back to Porter, she had to stop just one TV in the house and sit down and watch the performers. And my dad, I can't do it because we're on TV here, my dad would cuss about it. He said, this is paralyzing country music because nobody can move, can't get anything else done, you know. So to show you, I mean, I just love this. I love what all you do, and I really do feel inadequate in your presence because I can imagine the talent. And I also was talking off camera about my definition of a star. And little Jimmy Dickens and I have talked about this before. That word is thrown around a lot. So-and-so's a star. But that star sometimes fades away in 1 or 2 years or 1 or 2 hit songs. Everybody in this room is a star to me because it's been decades. And everybody knows who you are. They love you. You're still performing. So a star is someone that's been around as long as all you. And I'm just glad to be here with you.
Hey, you are not a brown shoe. You are very, very much welcome here, our buddy James Gregory. Johnny Lee, you're a pretty funny man. You can also sing. I think we need some music.
I'm ready to do it.
All right. You're going to look for love in all the wrong places?
It don't hurt to look. You can get a menu. That don't mean you got to order.
Lay it over.
John Travolta said, turn it up. That's my favorite song. I loved him for that. I spent a lifetime looking for you. Thank you. Single bars and good time lovers were never true. Playing a fool's game, hoping to win, and telling those sweet lies and losing again. I was looking for love in all the wrong places, looking for love in too many faces, searching their eyes, looking for traces of what I'm dreaming of, hoping to find a friend and a lover. I'll bless the day I discover another heart, looking for love. I was alone then, no love in sight. I did everything I could to get me through the night. Almost. Don't know where it started or where it might end. I turned to a stranger, just like a friend, 'cause I was looking for love in all the wrong places, looking for love in too many faces, searching their eyes and looking for traces of what I'm dreaming of, hoping to find a friend and a lover. I'll bless the day I discover another heart, looking for love. Came knocking at my heart's door. You're everything I've been looking for. There's no more looking for love in all the wrong places, in too many faces, searching their eyes and looking for traces of what I'm dreaming of. Now that I've found a friend and a lover, God bless the day I discovered you. Oh, you looking for love in all the wrong places, in too many faces, searching their eyes and looking for traces of what I'm dreaming of. Now that I've found a friend and a lover, God bless the day I discovered you. Oh, you looking for love. Take it on home. What a group. What a group. The story of my life in a song. I was working for love. But I gotta tell you, I love you. I was talking to my guy that used to come close my shows for me, played piano, short guy, Mickey Gilly back there. We was at a show one time. Bill was at one of these theaters. There was a lot of people there, you know, and I was up on stage and I said, you know, I was looking around today and I got to tell y'all, ugly strikes 1 out of every 3 people. And somebody way, way back in the back said, it struck you. Gilly wanted me to tell you that, so there you go.
How many people in this room ever played at Gilly's? Ever played at Gilly's night? Look at there, just about.
Wow.
Just about every. Mick, did you raise your hand?
I played it.
Yeah.
I played it a lot.
What do you remember? What's if looking back on those years?
It didn't pay much. Never made any money there, but you got a lot of free beer.
Yeah. The monitors suck.
Well, I tell you what.
What did you say?
I didn't hear that. Hey, the whole system sucked, so to speak. I had some wonderful times at Old Club. It was probably the ugliest thing in the world, but me and Johnny had a great time there. We used to do a lot of television show there, too.
Mickey told me the other day when he's on my radio show that he rode the bull. Did anybody else ever get on? TG got on it? Mo got on it? You got on a show?
Oh, they did it really, really slow.
The first time when they come down from Paramount Pictures to do that movie, they wanted somebody to ride the bull, so I run back there like the big dummy that I am and jumped on that bull. When they first cranked that thing up, I never thought I'd be a father. And the last time I rode it, I said, this is it, guys. I ain't riding this thing no more. I got on that bull. I'm going to tell you what, Bill. I stayed on that thing. I said, don't even worry about the buzzer. I stayed on it good 3.5, almost 4 minutes long. Then they plugged that thing in. It threw me halfway across the building.
Hey, Bill, I wanted to ask Johnny something. Would you tell everybody how you found Looking for Love, the song?
Well, when I found out I was going to get to sing in the movie, they told me I had to do 3 songs. I didn't have to. I was going to do 3 songs. I already had Cherokee Fiddle recorded, and I went to start looking for a girl named Becky Shargo. Took me to this hotel room. And
I've heard this story before.
Are you sure you want to tell?
oh, that story. No. Anyway, there was like whenever. You know how it is when the writers, publishing companies find out there's going to be a movie done or whatever. Everybody submits their songs with hopes that it gets discovered. And I walked in this room and, you know, it was just boxes and boxes full of cassette tapes. And I looked and I said, oh, Lord. And I started going through songs. And within the first 10, 12 songs that I went through, I pulled this cassette tape out of this cardboard box. Written by Patty Ryan and Wanda Millette. Got the idea from a classroom of 2nd grade school children. I pulled it out and put it in a cassette player and started listening. I fell in love with the lyrics. Couldn't believe I didn't write the lyrics myself because it was the story of my life. And changed a few things up on it and went back and recorded it, and I found it in a cardboard box.
Were they school teachers?
Yeah. Patty Ryan and Wanda Millette. Now, I think Patty has moved up to Nashville. She's a songwriter. Wanda Millette's still down around Gulfport, Mississippi, and still, writing songs.
Was that
and
the
stuff.
first song they got cut?
Yeah, and they love me.
Wow.
I love them.
They thought it was easy, didn't they?
Yeah.
Write one song and have a hit. Yeah. How did the movie, the Urban Cowboy movie, how did that change your life and Mickey's life?
The night that we went to the premiere, I remember working at Gilly's, every night, and everything was just, we'd go have a great time, and it was an experience. But the night that we went, and I was singing "Looking for Love" before the movie came out. The night we went to the premiere, Gilly and I came back. They brought us back to their club, had a big party at Gilly's that night for the movie thing. And that night, for the first time, when I sang that, like everybody just walked forward and stood there and watched me. When before the movie, I'd sing it and they'd just dance to it. That movie, it just changed just like that, And I'll never forget going out on tour for the first time and seeing people I've never seen before in my life, what I'd always dreamed of doing, and seeing somebody in a wheelchair down to little kids and in the audience and singing that song and everybody knowing the words. That's strong stuff, man. Yeah.
Y'all didn't serve wine at Gilly's, did you? Served a lot of beer?
We didn't serve any whiners. There was no whining at Gilly's.
I didn't say whining. I said
wine.
Yeah. I was
No, I
trying to
don't
be
think-
real clever and segue into David Frizzell's song about the wino.
There was certainly some wine there that night.
When you were there?
When Shelly and I we played there several times, didn't we?
We did. I don't think I got on the bull the time I was pregnant with Tess, though. That was the only time.
I remember trying to ride that thing, but yeah, we had a great time there. Mickey, we had a great time over there. The only problem we had was to try to keep them to keep those bumper stickers off of the bus. We had bumper stickers all over that bus.
People with bumper stickers on their car.
Let me tell you,
can't
about
get
the
'em all.
bumper stickers. I had a guy call me and talk to Mickey Gilly. And I took the call, and he says, "I'm going to sue you." I said, "Sue me for what?" "You defaced my car. You got a bumper sticker out there." I said, "Sir, I didn't put it on there." He said, "Well, it got there at your place." And when I went home, my wife went out, and I told her I was playing poker. She saw that bumper sticker. I couldn't get out of it. It caused me to get a divorce. I said, "Well, let me make a suggestion to you. Why don't you leave it on there? Next time you come back, she won't know it." He said, "That's a great idea."
I was working Gilly's one time, and one time only that I ever worked there, and did a dance and a show. And so I did my little show, and then after that, I'd come back on each dance set and do some ballads, for the folks to dance. And I noticed this one old man, he was older than Jimmy Dickens. Oh, Lord, he was ancient. And every time I'd sing a
I
ballad...
didn't know I was in the audience.
Every time I'd sing a ballad, he'd be dancing with a different woman right in front of the bandstand. And finally, on the break, he come up to me and said, I had on a new pair of ostrich boots. And he said, "Come here a minute." And I bent over there, and he said, "Where'd you get them damn little old chicken hide boots?" Got them off a chicken.
David, could we get the wino song out of you?
Let me go up here and get my guitar
We're
on.
comfortable.
That unplug.
Unplug yourself.
Oh, he's already.
I'm on top of it.
He's on top. All right.
I'm on top of this.
I learned from the best.
The great thing about working with Shelly all these years is that anytime I sing a song and I don't remember the words, she just stands right there and she gives me all those. She remembers the words, mine, hers, and everybody else's.
Well, I'm using your memory for the stories, though, so it's fair.
Let me see. I came crawling home last night, like many nights before. Finally made it to my feet as they open up the door. And she says, "We're not gonna do this anymore." She said, "I'm gonna hire a wino to decorate our home. Hey, you feel more at ease now. you won't need to roam. We'll take out the dining room table, put a bar along that wall. A neon sign will point the way to our bathroom down the hall. She said, bring those Friday paychecks and I'll cash them all right here. I keep a tap on all your friends, your favorite kind of beer. And for you I'll always keep in stock those soft aluminum cans, so that when you're feeling macho, you can crush them like a man. She said, oh, we'll rip out all the carpet, we'll put sawdust on the floor, serve hard-boiled eggs and pretzels, and I won't cook no more. There'll be Monday night football on TV above the bar, and a payphone in the hallway when your friends can't find the car. Here we go. She said, I'm gonna hire a wino to decorate our home. You feel more at ease now, you won't need to roam. We take out the dining room table, put a bar along that wall. A neon sign will point the way to our bathroom down the hall. She said, you get friendly service, pay for added atmosphere. I'll slip on side for sexy and cut it clear to hair. Then you can slap my bottom every time you tell a joke. Then I forget the words of this song. I told you I was gonna, there it is. She said, I'm gonna hire a wino to decorate our home. Hey, you feel more at ease now, you won't need to roam. Then when you and your friends get off from work, you have a powerful thirst. Well, there won't be any reasons why you can't stop off here first. One more. She said, I'm gonna hire a wino to decorate our home. Hey, you feel more at ease, you won't need to roam. We take out the dining room table, put a bar along that wall, and neon sign will point the way to our bathroom down the hall. Well, a neon sign will point the way to our bathroom down the hall.
Gotta sing that with Charlie. You know all the words of that thing. I love it.
Shelley was trying to tell you to come here, Shelley, so you can.
She really was, and I just wish she would have been right here.
I'm usually right next to you. I can do it a little
Come
more
stand up there next to
delicately,
him
but
so he can remember whatever is the words to whatever y'all are trying to do. It's great to have you here.
thank you, Bill. My pleasure. What an honor. Isn't this awesome? I just want to hope somebody's taking pictures, you know?
Anybody in the room ever forgot the words to a song on stage? And the songs that you know the best are the ones that you forget the words to. People say, well, you wrote it, why don't you know it? And there ain't no way.
Had nothing to do with it, does it? Really?
No.
Anybody ever started out in a key too high? Ooh. I just have to, I'm sorry, we got to stop.
How about that great duet that y'all do together?
Oh, Oklahoma. That's dear to us, that's for sure. And that song's been good to us.
How does it start, Shelly? There's a full moon over Tulsa. I hope that it's shining on you. The nights are getting cold in Cherokee County. There's a blue north passing through. I remember green eyes here after the dawn. Remember is all that I do. Losing you left a pretty good cowboy, nothing to hold
only two. Sundown came and I drove to town to drink it or two. And you're the reason God made Oklahoma. You're the reason God made Oklahoma. And I'm sure missing you. Hey, I'm sure missing you.
I'm supposed to be over here, right? Guitar. It's been a while. Hear the city lights outshine the moon. I was just now thinking of you. Sometimes when the wind blows, you can see the mountains and all the way to Malibu. Everyone's a star here in LA County. You ought to see the things they do. And all the cowboys down on the Sunset Strip wish that they could be like you. The Santa Monica Freeway sometimes makes a country girl blue. You're the reason God made Oklahoma. You're the reason God made Oklahoma. And I'm sure missing you.
Yeah, I worked 10 hours on that John Deere tractor, just thinking of you all day.
I've got a calico cat and a two-room flat on a street in West LA. And you're the reason God made Oklahoma. You're the reason God made Oklahoma. And I'm sure missing you. I'm sure missing you.
What a class. I couldn't help but look at Shelly and wonder what was going through Larry Gatlin's mind, because Shelly's mama, Dottie West, was really largely responsible for getting Larry Gatlin in the music business, wasn't she?
I'd be a bad lawyer in Houston if it weren't for Dottie West. We probably don't need any more bad lawyers in Houston. Kind of looks like her mama, doesn't she? Dottie loves songs. She loves songs, and she had a heart that was so big, and she loved songs and songwriters. And I was a kid in law school and found out that the Imperials, great gospel group, needed a backup singer. Went out there and they were working with all of our dear friend Jimmy Dean, Big John. And I thought I had the job. They were going to pay me $175 a week. I thought that was a pretty good deal. About 3 days from the end of the gig, Jimmy told me, he said, "Well, you ain't got that job. You know that." I said, "Well, yes, I do." He said, "No, you don't." He said, "You stand funny." He said the Imperials stand there, and Jim Murray just sings like an angel. He said, "You just kind of hunker down." I said, "You don't stand like they do. You ain't going to get the job." So it broke my heart. I thought I had the job. And Dottie I think it was a combination of her kind of feeling some compassion a little bit on me for not getting the job, and the other fact that I had written a couple of songs and they rhymed, And she said, "Well, you look enough like Mickey Newberry, you got to be able to write a song." So I wrote a few songs, and she sent me a plane ticket and moved to Nashville. And she did the greatest thing. What better thing can you do for a young songwriter than, within the first 2 weeks that I'm there, that she introduces me to Mickey Newberry and Roger Miller and Willie Nelson and Hank Cochran and Harlan Howard and Jeannie Seeley and Red Lane and Ed Bruce, and people from whom I learned this craft, what I know about it. And I miss her. And you look just like her, and I love you. And you were 13 when I got here, and I miss you, Mama, and I'm very grateful for what she meant in my life as a friend. And Dottie West, first of all, she was a great songwriter. And second of all, Dottie West sang in the middle of the note. She did. Every time. She wasn't around the edges, Buck. She was in the middle. And I kind of have a funny feeling she's here today. I love you, kid.
I love
Real
you too,
proud
Larry.
of, real
Thanks
proud
for
of you.
sharing those memories. Gosh, I
Celia,
even love how she used to write her name. You know, it was just there was some power behind it. You know, and she was so authentic. You're right, and she found songwriting. I think is what helped her express that and feel emotion. And it wasn't always, you know, it was painful sometimes, but she wasn't afraid to sing it out. And I can listen to her records today and feel that, you know. I'm glad I have her music too, and I'm glad we all do.
She had that little bell in her voice that Patsy, here comes more tears to cry.
Celia, you were one of Dottie's closest friends, weren't you?
Oh, I loved her so much, and she was a mentor to me too, because I was living in Los Angeles, and she came out there to do a television show and to work the Palomino Club, and that's where I met her. And we all went back to my house, as we always used to do, go back. We were never through when the place closed, you know. That's changed a little bit in the last few years. Anymore, I'm through before it closes, you know. Me and the 10 o'clock news go off at the same time, I've noticed here lately. But anyway, we used to always gather somewhere. We went back to my house in L.A., and she started encouraging me right away to move to Nashville. And I'm saying, Dottie, I don't know enough to move to Nashville yet. And she said, Nashville is where you learn. She said, you're never going to know enough till you move to Nashville. That's where it really happens. But Larry's right. She had such a big heart, and she was so willing to help everybody. She wanted to share everything. Dottie was a team player in every sense of the word, and I always loved that about her. Anything that was going on, whether it was a good sale on clothes or a good song idea or a possible job with her, Dottie wanted to share it with everybody. And when Shelly was talking about her conviction in her writing and signing it, and in her songs, you know, when the raw reality was in her song lyrics. You believed everything she said in her songs, but you could believe everything she told you when she talked to you too. If she made you a promise, she was going to keep that promise, hell or high water, you know. I missed her so much, and I treasure Shelly's friendship and Tessa's.
Gene and Jan, y'all were very close to Dottie, both of you.
Yeah, she come in the Grand Ole Opry one night, had a couple of cops with her. I said, who are they? She said, they're my bodyguards. I said, who wants your body? But I loved her. She was a great artist. And like Celia said, she was willing to help anybody at any time.
What about you, Jan?
Dottie, I was going back so many memories from when they first came to Nashville, and her children were all little, and mine were a little older, but we used to get together and we'd go over to their house and play cards, play pinochle or whatever. She loved to cook, you know. She did love to cook, and she loved her family. She loved her children. And that to me said a lot. She was a very loving, giving person. And sometimes I think she gave too much of herself. And but the last time I saw her at the Opry, I said, Dottie, I said, come and go play golf with me. Ride around in the cart, whatever. And she said, I'd really like to do that. I said, then let's do it. We never got a chance.
Shelly, other than your mama's music, what's your favorite memory of her?
No pressure, right? Gosh, everything everybody said has been said so eloquently, and Well, I do remember, well, this is just kind of a funny thing I remember. When I thought I was 32 when I turned 19, and I decided to go out west, and I kind of had to run away from home, or step away quickly at least, because Mom was not too happy about that, you know. And so I was out in California, and then Christmas came, and I was still out there, but I mean, I was having the time of my life. I learned to play bass guitar, and I was getting to sing Janie Fricke songs in the nightclubs, you know. And Jeannie, Mom called me, and you could tell she wasn't too happy, you know, first Christmas I'd ever spent away from home. And she says, well, Celie was here last night, and she couldn't stand to see me crying any longer, staring at your Christmas presents under the tree. And she said, I couldn't help it. She jumped up and said, well, dadgummit, I'm just going to open them then. I'll take them. And she did. What'd you get?
You would have loved them. You would have loved them. They were
Thanks, rubbing it in. I would have loved them, huh?
Christmas at your mom's house was always so fun because she would go and buy all these flannel nightgowns and flannel pajamas in every size. And when you came out there, it didn't matter whether you're only going to stay an hour or all night. You had to put on flannel pajamas and flannel nightgown and do the whole bit, you know. Her enthusiasm for life always amazed me, and it's one thing I've tried to copy, but don't ever get that far. Somebody said in an interview, asked me in an interview, said, how would you sum up Dottie the quickest way? And I said, at Valentine's, she had more hearts than anybody and more candy. At Easter, she had more Easter eggs. At 4th of July, more fireworks, more pumpkins, more Christmas trees. That was just her. Just every occasion, she was just into it.
Certainly, holidays were so largely celebrated. And I remember, this is not about holidays, but one story I remember is, or just memory in my head. I was about 9 years old, and she came into my room, and you could tell she wanted to talk closely to me or with me, and there were some little porcelain dolls sitting there, and we talked about these little dolls. It's kind of vague, but and then we sat down on the bed, and she handed me my first bottle of oil of Olay lotion. And she said, I think if you'll start wearing this now, you know, it'll save your skin. At 10 years old, that's pretty good, huh?
How about singing one of your mama's songs?
I'd be glad to. Thank you, Bill. You say you love me, and it's inviting. Can I start over? That was a bad note. Oh, thank you. I don't usually do the intro to it. I need to practice. You say you love me, and it's inviting to go where life is more exciting. But I was raised on country sunshine. I was raised on country sunshine. I'm happy with the simple things. A Saturday night dance, a bottle of Coke, and the joy that the bluebirds bring. Well, I love you, please believe me. I wouldn't want you to ever leave me. But I was raised on country sunshine. Y'all know this one. There's just something about the morning that makes each day a joy to see. And nighttime brings a peaceful feeling to rest inside of me. Well, I love you, please believe me. I wouldn't want you to ever leave me. 'Cause I was raised on country sunshine. Whoa, I was raised on country sunshine. Woo! Thank you. Y'all are sweet.
Thank you, Shelly.
don't forget our store down below where you can get Country's Family Reunion and Larry's Country Diner product.
Beautiful.
Thank
you
you.
look like your mom and sound a lot like her. And that's a great compliment.
Great.
Larry Gatlin, you were telling me.
We'll be with you in a minute. I love it. Well, they asked me. I'm America's guest. You asked me over at your house, I'll show up. I got up. Is it my turn?
Yeah. Stay here. I want you to tell everybody here what you were telling me back in the dressing room about you and Steve and Rudy and the new recording deal.
Well, we're very grateful. I was in New York City. I took a walk around the block. Rumor has it I was smoking a cigar. Don't tell Janice. And I came to the corner of 58th and 7th, and there was Carnegie Hall. And I was smoking this cigar, and I was doing my morning prayers. I was. And I said, Lord, I'm really grateful that I've been able to sing in, concert halls all over America. And I've sung in the second greatest place to sing in America next to the Grand Ole Opry, the Carnegie Hall. And about that time, the phone rang at my cell phone, and it said, Gatlin? I said, yeah. He said, it's Rick Perry, Honorable Governor of the great state of Texas. I said, hello, Governor. He said, you know an old boy named Mike Curb? I said, I don't know him well. We were in a wedding together 30 years ago. He's the best man I sang a song. He said, he wants to talk to you. So we talked about something completely different. I got with Mike, and I didn't really know him very well. So when we got together, I said, Mike, the brothers and I've written some new songs, and we've started this new project. And I said, I believe if I were 25 and I came and brought those songs to you, that you'd give me a publishing deal and a record deal. He said, I'm a Gatlin Brothers fan, and I don't care if you're 58. I still think you can write great songs and sing great music. So he's given us a shot, and I'm grateful for that. I really am. I'm grateful for that. And so we're going to do that. The brothers are over mixing the CD today, and they give everyone their best. And I think that might encourage all of us, just because we're a little longer in the tooth and a little grayer in the... There are hit songs in this room, I know they're hit songs because Bobby Braddock's here. I know there are hit songs in this room, and because you're here. So, like I told somebody this morning, maybe Roy, I said, the man who loves his job is always on vacation. So we're having a good time, aren't we, kids? Hello, T.
Hey,
good to see you,
Larry.
boy. I hadn't seen you in a long time.
Man.
Bless you. It's good to see you.
You're
So
one
we're
of my
very
favorites,
grateful.
man.
Well, you're one of we worked last time in Georgia. Where's that place over there?
Lanier
Land.
Exactly.
That's right. How do you get to Lanier Land?
Very careful.
Well, you go to the first kudzu vine and turn left. I don't know. So what am I doing? I'm just standing
You
here.
go sing a song about your hometown.
What? Hi, man. Hello, Jimmy Capps. Jimmy Capps played on my first demo in 1971. Hello, man. God love you. What song? Do I need a mic stand? I don't. What are we singing? Houston. 1, 2, 3, let's swing. Well, Houston means that I'm one day closer to you. Yeah, honey. Houston means the last day of the touring we're through. Yeah, lady, you and God in heaven above know I love what I do, more bandy, I really do. But Houston means that I'm one day closer to you. Well, now singing at the world's biggest rodeo sure was a great time for me and the guys. But when I'm away from you, honey, time always never flies. And sleeping all alone in that holiday hotel sure makes a cowboy blue. But here I am in Houston and I'm one day closer to you. Houston means that I'm one day closer to you. Play that fiddle now. Houston means the last day of the touring we're through. Yeah, lady, you and God in the heaven above know I love what I do for a living. Jeannie Seeley, I really do.
Houston means that I'm one day closer to you. Turn it around, boys. Don't go too. Well, Houston means that I'm one day closer to you. Yeah, lady, Houston means the last day of the touring we're through. Yeah, honey, you and God in heaven above know I love what I do, TG, I really do. But Houston, Charles Pride, Houston means that I'm one day closer to you. Tag it, boys and girls, and we're out of here. Houston means that I'm one day closer to you. Ba-da-ba, ba-da-da. How about that band right there, huh? Thanks. You act like you've done that before.
You ain't getting a virgin.
Long time ago, we played Lanier Land.
Easy for you to say, Melvin.
But anyway, I was like right outside of Atlanta, and I pulled up this guy's house. He was sitting on a porch out there, and I said, "Excuse me, sir, but I'm lost. Can you tell me how to get to Lanier Land?" He said, "Well, now, are you walking or are you driving?" I said, "Well, I'm driving." He said, "Well, that'd be your quickest way."
And it was Billy Deaton, wasn't it? What do I do with this? No help from you.
Don't pick on the deacon.
You know, words you never hear is, Larry, who wrote your last single? You never hear that.
James Gregory, I think they're making fun of our home state.
I know. I've worked with Lanier before. Yeah. I was the opening act, by the way. I love being the opening act sometime. You're making comments a while ago about teasing about Gilly's not paying much.
I was just kidding.
If that's the case, I don't know why my manager kept missing it. That's usually where I work, is the ones that don't pay very much, you know. Now, I enjoy Lanier Land.
One of the best things about Lanier Land is the country cooking they have in the back room.
Oh, that's where I went. Yeah.
Well, I hate to tell everybody the news, but they've closed it down.
Yes, they have.
Yeah.
What happened?
They closed the park down.
They did?
Yeah.
No water.
I just found out
was
this
that-
morning that they closed Opryland. I didn't even know.
There's a rumor.
Are you serious?
I've been away a while.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to play there tomorrow.
Wait a minute. Roy Clark says what?
He said he was playing there
tomorrow.
You playing there tomorrow?
I was supposed to play there tomorrow. I certainly hope that somebody calls. I'd hate to make that trip for nothing.
Feel free to sleep in tomorrow.
Yeah.
David Frizzell and Shelly West are not the only duet, boy-girl, male-female duet in the room. For 7 years, Jan Howard and I traveled the country together and did television shows and everything. And you know what? After being together for 7 years, and Jan decided to go out on her own, and then I was very fortunate because I found a lady named Mary Lou Turner to come along. But you know what? People accused all of the years that Mary Lou and I were together, they accused Mary Lou of being the other woman that broke me and you up.
Oh, really?
Oh, you didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that. How was it, Mary Lou?
Yeah, Mary Lou, how was it?
I'm not talking.
I'm glad to see you. We don't see each other very often. Mary Lou lives up in Branson, and you're part of the Grand Ladies show up there, right?
Yeah, we're doing a show 6 nights a week and at the God and Country Theater, working with the lovely Jean Shepherd and Leona Williams, Margot Smith, oh, help.
Jody Miller.
Jody Miller.
Ava Barber.
Ava Barber from the Welk Show, country singer.
Miss Norma Jean.
Norma Jean.
There's a bunch of us.
Yeah.
We're hard to get along with.
You know, we have a lot of fun. One thing that I've enjoyed, though, you know, you see people at the Opry or you work shows. I've probably worked a show with everybody here. But when you share that dressing room 6 nights a week, 2 weeks on, you know, you get to know them. And really,
Boy,
you
do
do
you
become
ever.
close. Yeah, she knows I have a tattoo.
What'd you say?
The night that she found out, we were on stage, and when she found out that I had a tattoo, that look, that right there, it was worth $1 million.
Ava's got one too, right there.
Yeah.
I said, ladies in country music don't get tattoos.
That's right.
You're next. You're going to get one this year.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Mary Lou's husband's doing something kind of unique. He's a piano player. He went to Branson as the band leader with Boxcar Willie many years ago. And he's playing now with some of the surviving members of Bill Haley's Comets.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
There's 2 of them in the original group that are 73 years old, and then they have an 84-year-old drummer. He's the talk of the town. Wow. He's incredible. And this has been a great thing for David. You know, when I met David, he was playing rock and roll. And I was singing country music. And I said, that's not going to happen. That's not going to mix. So the first thing I took him to was a bluegrass concert. Got him kind of weaned over to bluegrass. But now he's back to the same music. And the Comets are doing a great job. They're wonderful. They get anywhere from 6 to 10 standing ovations every show. I'm amazed. I love them. Wow. Makes me want to sing rock and roll.
Do you ever, does anybody ever ask you for any of the old duets that we used to do?
Yeah, they do. They haven't forgotten us. And that's nice because every night I do a little snippet of our duets, and they still know the words. They ask questions about do we ever work together, and I told them all year about this, that this was going to be an exciting thing, and we'd be singing together again. And yeah, people don't forget. The country music fans are the loyal people, and they don't. If they like you, they'll never forget you, and they'll always support you.
Can you sit down and sing, or do we need to go over there in front of the band?
Doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do.
Well, let's just stay right here.
Okay.
Mike,
You need
y'all
to sit
remember
down,
this
Bill.
one? Hello, beautiful. Are you married?
Sometimes.
Well, tell me. Are you happy?
Yes, sometimes. But sometimes I feel like I've just got to get away from the same old existence day after day. Oh, haven't you ever felt that way?
Yes, sometimes.
I can see you're married. Don't you love her?
Sometimes.
But you have thought of cheating, haven't you?
Yes. Sometimes. Sometimes I long for a warm, tender kiss, just to see if there's anything I might have missed. Oh, haven't you ever felt like this?
Sometimes.
And it's beginning to feel like this might be one of those sometimes. Those one times.
I'm aching to hold you, kiss and console you, drive you right out of your mind. But I know when I do, I won't get over you for quite some time. I'm aching to hold you, kiss and console you, drive you right out of your mind. But I know when I do, I won't get over you for quite some time.
Thank you, Bill. Thanks for writing a #1 song.
Thank you. You know what I was thinking? Bobby Braddock, you missed those cheating songs. Well, they're not politically correct today. David, you're talking about forgetting the words sometimes, and Shelly reminding you of the words when you sing. I hired Mary Lou Turner because she forgot the words to a song.
That's right.
I took her, we were looking for somebody to break up me and Jan. And Mary Lou went with me and the band down to Florida, Vero Beach, Florida.
Vero Beach, Florida.
And I was just going to watch Mary Lou on the stage and kind of see how she did. I knew she was a good singer, and I kind of wanted to see how she could handle an audience. Do you remember the song that you were doing?
Country Roads.
Country Roads.
Yeah, and I just went blank, and so I just made up the words as I went.
But you did it so professionally. She stood there, the audience didn't, you know, sometimes the audience will get nervous if you forget the words and you act nervous, then they're going to get nervous along with you. And the way that you handled that, and the way that you continued with what you were doing, you were such a pro. And because you forgot the words, you got a job.
Well, see? Well, you know, I was a nervous wreck, but I felt this is my one big chance to get into country music and in the professional side, maybe move to Nashville to have a recording contract, and it all banked on that show. And so I was a wreck, you know, and it's no wonder. I mean,
But it didn't show.
Yeah, well,
that's
master
the
at covering it up.
That's the pro coming out. It didn't show. I love you, and I sure am
Love
glad
you
you're
too.
here. Yeah.
Bill.
You know, I come by that pretty easily, though. My brother Lefty never could remember the words of Saginaw.
How well I know. Can I tell that story? I think everybody in the room will understand this. Lefty had recorded a song that Don Wayne and I had written called Saginaw, Michigan, and it was the #1 record in the country, hotter than a depot stove. And we went on a show together to St. Louis. The record was #1. And Lefty was headlining the show, and he walked out there and did Always Late, and You Got the Money, I Got did all these big hits, came off the stage and had not sung Saginaw, Michigan, the #1 record in the country. The audience is going, Saginaw, sing Saginaw. And so they kind of pushed Lefty back out on the stage, and he walked up to the mic, and I'll never forget it. He had this helpless, lost look on his face. He said, I don't know it. I don't know the words. The #1 record in the country, and Lefty didn't know the words. So I had already been on, and I went back behind the curtain and kind of crawled through the curtain, and I knelt down behind him. He was wearing that persimmon-colored suit that he had, and I knelt down behind him, and the band started. I said, I was born in Saginaw, I sat there behind him the whole time and told him every word to that song. Yeah, Gene.
Bill, I was on with Lefty at the Wilburn Brothers show one time, and they said, we're going to do, if you got the money, I got the time. Lefty said, I don't know it. I said, I know every word of it. And I stood behind him and fed him the words.
You'd think a song that big and that popular that.
He at least wrote that one. He at least wrote that one, though, and he didn't. He didn't remember.
Janie Fricky, you ever forgotten the words to a song?
Sometimes,
Oh, that
but
was mine and Mary Lou's.
I'm pretty programmed though. It seems like, but sometimes I wish I did have that little teleprompter thing. I know a lot of people go to that too, and depend on that. But if it's a newer song, then I write a little cheat sheet and put it on the floor by the mic, or on the hands. But
Anybody ever put the lyrics on top of their guitar?
Oh yeah.
Scotch taping on the top of the guitar.
The bass fiddle's a good place for that.
What?
The bass fiddle's a really good place for that.
Yeah.
because-
You ought to ask my old buddy, Mickey Gilly, about the time they asked him to sing the national anthem live on TV at a fight.
Tell us about it,
I
Mickey.
don't want to talk about that.
Did you forget the words?
I couldn't remember the whole song.
Here's what happened. He said, nobody can sing the national anthem good. I'm going to go in the studio and I'm going to put it on tape. I'm going to pantomime it. Nobody will ever know the difference.
Bill, what?
So here comes Gilly walking down the aisle there with the Marines and stuff. They get him up in the ring, you know. Sing! Gilly said, turn the tape on.
Wait till the tape to play.
They said, sing! He said, turn the tape on. He said, tape's broke. Sing!
The only thing I heard when they started the tape, they didn't break. They started the tape, and only thing I heard, I told them, I said, look, turn the music up real loud, turn my voice mic off. And they did just the opposite. They turned the microphone way up, turned the music off, and the only thing I heard was, I knew I was in trouble at that point.
Well, do y'all remember that Robert Goulet, you know, the great pop singer, you know, late, he passed away not long ago. He did it at Madison Square Garden one night, and he's Canadian. So, I mean, he has kind of an excuse for not knowing the national anthem. I mean, they asked us one time to sing the national anthem, and we started. They said, no, we want O Canada. So we went out 15 minutes later, came and learned O Canada and sang it at a hockey game. But Robert Goulet gets up and he goes, oh, you know, he looked like a god, you know, that black hair everywhere, just that, you know, the handsomest man there. He goes, oh, say, can you see lots of bombs in the air? And some grain and some fields and some mud flaps and bulldogs. I mean, God only knows what the man's saying. So, I mean, it's not the easiest song. I mean, you know, it's not exactly cheating heart and B flat. It's pretty hard to sing. B flat. Capo sliding for 2 blocks. B flat.
I had an adventure with the national anthem. I had the pleasure of singing at a big old football game in Miami, Florida. And it was long enough ago where it was Dandy Don Meredith and Howard Cosell. And there I am in the middle of the field, and when you're singing live at these things, there is about a 2-second delay from the sidelines and about a 4-second delay from the end zones. So you're gonna sing, and you're gonna hear what you sing, and then you're gonna hear yourself echoed back, oh, 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 say. And I'm out in the middle of the field, and they said, from the speaker's booth I can hear, and now, ladies and gentlemen, to sing our national anthem, a great lady of country music, Loretta Lynn. Oh, no. Oh, say, can you sing? I mean, what can you do? There was a network television, and I as it went out, Don Meredith is going, no, it's not, no, that, you know, so thank you very much.
That national anthem was once a...
What, Jimmy?
You folks talking about your memory. One time there was 3 old men my age went in to see the doctor for a memory test. And the doctor said to the first one, he said, how much is 3 times 3? He said, 374. And he said the next one, how much is 3 times 3? And he said, Tuesday. Said the next one, how much is 3 times 3? He said, 9. He said, that's fine. How did you arrive at that? He said, I just subtracted 374 from Tuesday, and there it was.
I want to know, did you ever finish the national anthem when the tape broke?
Well, actually, the tape didn't break. I had pantomime. I mean, I'd done the song, And Tony Migliore did the piano part for me. And I stood up and sang it. And I had it down, I thought. Anyway, the Marine color guard was standing behind me, and the first thing I heard was, sing, sing, sing. So I'm doing the first part of it, you know. I said, oh, say, can you? And Barbara Mandrell's out there in the audience. She came back to me, she says, I felt for you. Because I had it happen to me, too.
And by the way, Gilly, it's not Jose, can you sing?
Oh, really? Now you tell me. Hey, remember, we all grew up in Texas.
It is when Rodriguez sings it.
Hey, and if you like this one, you'll love this one. Just go to the link.